I want to talk to today about, well, a lot of things that aren't really discussed. And I'm pretty knowledgeable about it. I've been looking this stuff up for a long, long time. And so I will start off with something that you should really, really look up. And then you can kind of connect the dots about what's happening in the world. And this is regardless of what you do. You should always do this anyways. Just follow the money. Because money is always about everything. Pretty much, especially with the government. Because it's just a big business. That's all it is. They don't care about us. They only care about money. None of the rich people fight any of the wars. None of the rich people fight for anything that, the small businesses are losing out. They just keep getting richer and richer. So, there's a new system out. It's called BRICS. BRICS. It originally was BRIC. And then S came along. So they stand their first initials for each country. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And it was established in 2006. And they started having their own summits, just like NATO has and all these other people, the G7 summit and all this, in Switzerland. It's really amazing to me that all these countries that so much hate each other, but yet they go and meet. And even during wars and all this stuff, all the world leaders still somehow just meet up and talk, but no one ever dies or gets hurt. Like, if your neighbor, did something to your family, you would hate that person, right? You would go after him. You would do something to him. But again, the world leaders don't care. Everything is pre-planned. Everything is in the works for one reason or another. And BRICS is in the works. And it's a new system and it's backed by gold. And this system, you can see kind of why America has been retaliating. Because America, if you don't know this, you can look it up, read books or YouTube, just watch, just type in on YouTube, how the dollar is generated, how is the dollar manufactured, all these things that you should know. We're not taught in school because we're blindsided by it on purpose. And money, the money in the world is controlled now by the petrodollar, which is controlled by the Federal Reserve of America. And that's basically why America can pretty much just print up all the money they want and nothing really happens to them. But sooner or later, something's going to happen. Every great empire falls. Anyways, when BRICS started, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, you can kind of see when they started and then they started becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, America is now like trying to start a new Cold War with them. Every which way they can. Either with Russia or China. Look at everything that's happening around Brazil. Venezuela, hello, it's next door neighbor. So, America wants to try to indulge into these countries to shut them down. Look at what has happened in South Africa. South Africa was perfectly fine, a decade ago. And then all of a sudden, now all these farmers are dying and all these people are leaving South Africa. If you follow the money, you follow the leads and stuff, America is full of decoups. They always have, coup, whatever they're called, around the world, trying to stop these establishments, trying to stay ahead of the game. But BRICS is already ahead. And they are fastly moving, and you never really hear any of the news channels mention it. Maybe RT News might mention it here and there, and that's the only people that I really know that mentions it. But you can look it up yourself and investigate it because it's very interesting. Like I say, just follow the money about things, and you can kind of connect the dots about what's happening through the whole banking industry. And you can also see relatively new stuff that has come out, such as like Iran wants to join the BRICS too, and a couple other countries want to join also. And this is they're trying to get away from the European Union or the American Union and establish their own thing. Sooner or later, it's going to come. China is by far the biggest country, and it's by far the richest. It's so rich. The infrastructure in China is 10 times more valuable than in America or Europe or Australia or any other country. And China is very much moving up the ladder. It already is on top. I don't care what people think or say. You can see the infrastructure in China. I mean, they're building bridges in whole cities and everything in a matter of months. And it takes other countries years to make these things. And China now has like the longest bridge going to Russia. And China is going to soon have the highest skyscraper. Sooner or later, China is going to have the best of everything. And they're already on their way. So another thing I want to mention that a lot of people don't really know about, everyone's all about blindsided about this virus going around and stuff, or everyone's blindsided about this 5G, and they don't really know, what's the main principle behind it. And maybe I don't either, but I think I have a pretty good idea. The next thing I want to talk about is the whole 5G and AI. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows about AI now, especially Elon Musk always talks about it, He's just a fraud, stole from Nikola Tesla. Anyways, AI, a lot of people know about the robots and things like this, but have you heard about a robot called Sophia? It's SOPHIA, I believe is how to spell it. And Hanson Robotics made it in 2016. They designed this robot. Well, I think they designed it decades ago. Let me tell you one thing about the military and the government. The military power is 30, 40 years ahead of our time, minimum. They're the ones who create satellites and radio communications and cell phones and high-powered weapons and all this other crazy shit. And anyways, this Sophia AI robot is very unique. And the thing is, right now, what's happening with the whole AI is that before, robots, were designed to basically to do one thing, or to do a simple task or something like this, and that was it. Well, now robots are becoming more humane. They are having their own emotions, feelings, and things like this. The reason why this is because, well, Facebook is for one, and social media. They're stealing all of our data, and they're putting this into the supercomputers, and then these supercomputers are generating a lifestyle for these robots. And this is kind of what like the whole 5G is really over, because 5G is basically 3 times minimum 3 times stronger than more faster than the fastest high-speed internet, and it's wireless. Okay, so when you need robots, you need them to be wireless. I mean, we are already seeing during this quarantine time where robots are coming out, where they have like a dog robot in the parks in like Singapore and stuff, and in Hong Kong, and they're walking around making sure people do their social distancing, this kind of stuff. Okay, so this is going to become the new norm, the new everything. This is going to be the new normal. This is what all the news is, having propaganda and implying into our brains, and keep applying and implying this, to make everybody think that this is going to be the new norm. Because it's pretty easy to brainwash the masses, honestly. It's very easy. Religions did it, and kings, did this before, military did this now, and government does this in the future, and all this other stuff, because it's easy to brainwash people, easy to get inside of somebody's mind. Let's just look at like friend relationships, just a simple tactic like this of how many people feel like somebody's their friend or something, and then they turn their back on them, and they truly weren't their friend at all. Or loved ones, or boyfriend, girlfriend, or anything like this. It happens all the time. And it's just as easy to brainwash the masses through mass propaganda such as religion and stuff. Well, religion is kind of fading away. And many people are seeing a double-sided sword to it. And many people are wanting to revert to something different. And the governments are kind of losing control about this. You can kind of see what's been happening with all the riots, that started last year or maybe 2 years ago with all like the yellow vest movement. But it wasn't just the yellow vest movement. It's been all over the world. Just the news has been kind of hush-hush about it until it gets so big on social media, where then the news will pick it up and act like they're the ones covering the story. But really, the people on the social media is the one who's covering it. Well, what's being censored now? Social media. And this is becoming a big, big problem, because not only are the people being silenced and stuff, not only the people are being deterred away from their brainwashing movements, they're now being controlled by an alternation of robotics, camera systems, and all this. We have systems now in China, okay? China has a system, and it's called the social, let me get my notes here. It's called the social credit system, and it was designed in 2009, but in 2018 or 2019, 2009 they ran a pre-trial on it, but 2018 they started to really come out with this. And basically this social credit system is basically a camera system. Let me tell you this also. China has so many cameras. There's billions of people and millions of people in China. So in China, that if there's one camera per 12 people in China. That's crazy amount of camera systems. And these camera systems are super high tech. Okay? They can read our facial recognition. They know who we are. They can read our eye color. They can read our skin temperature, our body temperature, our movements of how we're walking, if we're walking at a fast pace, if we're in a hurry, if we're nervous, anything like this. It's crazy. So just imagine a camera system that is wireless. All these robots walking around and all this crazy stuff in the new norm that's going to be coming. And the thing is all this has to be controlled by a higher power, such as 5G. And 5G is extremely powerful, and it's not just powerful in the radio waves. I'm sure, yes, it will hurt people. I'm sure, yes, it will hurt some nature and stuff. But what does the rich care? The rich doesn't care about anything. They love Monsanto. If you don't know who Monsanto is, look it up. And they don't care. They already eat their prime beef and prime organic foods, and they don't care about us. You look at a rich person and how they associate with their people that are supposedly close to them. They're gardeners, they're butchers or butlers, there's they're maids and all these other people. The rich people can care less about these people. They just want them to do their job, keep their mouth shut, and that's it. They don't want to share no feelings, no emotions. They don't want to be human to them. They just want to have a business transaction, pay them money, send them on their way, them do their job, and that's it. Well, that's basically a robot, honestly. And robots are even better because you only have to pay a one-time fee, or maybe you have to fix them here and there or something. And that's it. And a robot, doesn't have to talk back to you or anything. And we have all these robots now that can move like a human being, can walk, can pick up things, can jump, all this crazy stuff. Just imagine another 5-10 years from now. These robots are going to be in the masses around the world. 5G will control them. And with this, the rich people, they don't care about the poor people. They only want the poor people so that they can make more money themselves. That's basically how the rich people think. So they have the poor people. Well, if they don't need the people no more, these rich people also know that if there's people in the world and they don't have money, well, they're going to resort to violence because our natural instincts will kick in to survive, and we need food and water to survive. And without food or water, we will kick in our natural instincts and do what we can. And we resort to violence if we need to. We will do whatever we need to get our food and water. That's the typical human. So what's happening is that, they need to wipe out the masses to put in the robots to replenish these people. Well, what better way to do that than create a disease? You see, you connect these dots, and then you can kind of begin to understand. Follow the money. All these rich people, what are they doing? What are they doing with their money? You follow this stuff, and you will find the answers. So, I would like to talk about this more, but these are definitely the 2 points that I would like to get across. I know my YouTube's about my travels and stuff, but I am very highly knowledgeable about what's going on in the world. I have traveled a lot, I read a lot, I listen to people a lot, and I investigate a lot. So it would be nice, maybe can set up like an interview with another person. We can do like a phone interview or something, and edit it or anything like this for the future for other people. It'd be nice to commentate on somebody else has questions or something, but it's just something that's been picking at my mind, and I really want to tell the masses about people. And I hope you share this and share my other videos also. I have awesome videos of traveling the world, and I guess that's about it. So take care.